exciting show lined up for you tonight. Let's have a look at the first topic.
Bye-bye birdie and $300 million US. The loss of the latest Mars lander with a sister craft a few months earlier is not only depressing but very expensive. At $300 million a crack, is long-range or even short-range space exploration worth it? Many argue that money could be used right here on good old terra firma to fight AIDS, feed the starving, make sure anyone but the liberals are voted in during the next election. Is the money well spent or just lost in space?
Lost in space. Robert, we'll let you kick this off. Now, you're a meteorite expert. Is it too expensive to go where no man has gone before?
Not really. No, I think that's justified. It is a shame that the last two were lost, but I think it's worth doing.
Mm-hmm. Anybody else want to pick it up? I mean, that's $320 million US. Canada has a part of it. I don't know. I think we supplied some technology, you know, a bent nail and, you know, some binder twine or something like that. Well, not only that, but I think I heard not too long ago that 80% of the ocean hasn't been explored, and not only that, but about 75% of everything in the rainforest that could help us as far as medicine goes. We haven't looked at that, yet, you know, we're spending $320 million to fire a tin can up into space, never to be seen again and getting nothing from it. Robert?
Well, the first one was successful. They got pictures back.
That's the robot car?
Right. That functioned for about a couple weeks, so like I said, it is a shame that the last two haven't worked, but you mentioned that $320 million is a large amount of money. I've heard that they were blaming some of this on the bean counters, that's why it didn't work, is they were being a little bit too cost conscious. Some of the equipment that went into that was basically like Radio Shack type quality of stuff for microphones, etc. I think they're going to have to continue on with it, but they're going to have to change the design. They really have to find out what caused it to go wrong.
All right, that was the first topic. Thank you very much. Great discussion. Let's have a look at topic number 2.
Who are they trying to kid? The International Olympic Committee meets and tells its members they can't accept any more money, gifts, or free trips from cities competing for Olympic Games, and then tell the world it's solved its corruption problem. Yeah, right. Most athletes say what's really needed is a complete house cleaning from the sleazy bottom to the top. But what about the players themselves? They're hardly as clean as the driven snow. Performance-enhancing drugs, steroids, blood doping, who knows what's going on? For the athletes to call the organizers corrupt is hypocrisy. So what are we supposed to think? Maybe it's time to shut the games down completely, because it seems neither the organizers or the athletes can do the right thing.
Like I say, the organizers are taking money. A lot of the athletes are taking drugs. A lot of them have won gold and have now, you know, have lucrative careers because they've won these medals through the use of drugs or steroids or what else?
Well, to me, the Olympics has turned now more into a competition of what city gets to host the games. The athletics is almost secondary now. There's so much bribing and you know, whining and dining Olympic Committee members about who's going to get to host the games. Like I said, it almost overshadows the sports involved in the games.
What really amazes me is why do they always focus on, when you're talking about the Olympic Games, is the number of golds each country wins. I mean, talk about competition. It doesn't really matter which country wins which gold. What it comes down to is the true athlete that's performing the skills.
Okay, terrific. We still didn't decide whether or not the Olympics should be scrapped, but perhaps another day. Okay, we're going to take a short break, and when we come back, some more.
From CKCO News, the final round continues. Here again is CKCO's Brent Hansen.
Okay, welcome back to the final round. We have a hot topic here. During the commercial break, there was a big argument. Let's have a look at this topic.
What have we done wrong? Why are we being confronted with another unity debate? Quebecers are sick of the issue, and the rest of us are willing to let sleeping dogs lie. But oh no, The PM, who almost single-handedly lost the country during the last referendum, has a bright idea. He'll write new rules for the next vote so he can run the show, telling Quebecers what they can and can't do. But that's like waving the red flag in front of a bull. Why this? Why now? Is the little guy from Shawinigan right or wrong?
You know, some countries actually have, as part of their constitution, that they can't discuss succession, like that you're part of the country, and the country can't be chopped up.
But why is it
I'd
when
like to see
Canada's
that.
involved, when it's Lithuania, for example, that wanted to separate from Russia, people like Krejcem were the ones saying that you're tyrants for not letting them go. So why doesn't the same rules play out here?
I just don't
think it's
like all the
ridiculous.
time that
Quebec
gets
has
spent
been
on
getting
it.
pandered to. They've been getting special treatment from day one. And in my humble opinion, if any province should be thinking about separating, it should be Ontario. We should be doing the move first, because Ontario is the goose that lays the golden egg, and as long as there is money to be taken from us, Quebec will be on the scene. The minute the boat sinks, they'll be swimming towards shore like rodents from a sinking ship. You know
I
what
don't know about Ontario
I don't think
being
Ontario,
cut loose
yeah.
because
Ontario would be the best country in the world. It'd
No, it
be much
wouldn't.
better
No,
than Canada as a
because
country.
it's the same
No.
as teamwork. You have a number of provinces. What would Canada be without a united team? All the provinces need to be united. Not
We have
just
less in
Ontario,
common with British Columbia
Alberta.
than we do with Ohio, any of our close neighbors. We
That's
have
fine.
nothing in common with Newfoundland, and we have even less in common with Quebec.
Well, we can use the Americans as trading partners and things like that, and that works real well for our country, for our economy, etc. To say we have nothing in common with these people, I think is a myth. I think we have lots in common with them. We need to look to see what we do have, in fact, in common with them, and I think we'll find out that we have lots. With the Western provinces, we use their grains, we get their cattle here. In Quebec, we're bringing stuff in. We're sending stuff to Quebec. As a businessman, I buy product out of Quebec. And yes, maybe it is a little difficult to deal with them, to sell them things. But that's not the people of Quebec. That's the government of Quebec.
Yep, it's two different things.
That's the people that are trying to get this separatist thing, get it blazing again and get everybody excited. And do you know, every time there is an issue like this comes up, people think that the vote is going to go through this time, and the referendum is going to be a positive one, and people are leaving Quebec. The no votes are leaving Quebec on a daily basis.
What do you think is the problem here?
Well, no, that's why I go back to this whole idea of maybe not allowing provinces even bring this issue up, because we've been talking about Quebec for 20 years now, and that's because I heard recently on the news that a lot of, you mentioned the prairie farmers, and a lot of them are upset because they don't feel they're getting the support from the federal government, and so some of them, you know, are saying, well, maybe we should band together and be separate.
Ontario by far is the most shortchanged province. Over 50% of all tax revenues generated in this country come from Ontario. 20% of it comes back.
Mary Ellen,
if
what were you gonna
Ontario
say?
was a
But if you
separate
have a
entity, we'd have
family.
no GST, we wouldn't need a PST.
If you have a family with 5 children, and one of the children is the big breadwinner, should that family member cut loose from the rest of the
No, but
family
we're not
because they're the
talking
big
really about
breadwinner?
the breadwinner.
No.
We're talking about the whiny one who wants more, 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 and that you know,
I
that's
think-
Quebec.
What it's all about is being a family and being unified.
When push comes to shove, and it's coming to that, every province is going to be looking after their own butt. That's exactly what Quebec's been doing from day one. They're concerned with their own position, and they could be concerned less with the rest of Canada.
I think
What would we name Ontario?
Ontario, a country, just like we just stay as Ontario. We'd lose
We'd
a
stand
complete
on guard
level
for
of
thee.
bureaucracy.
Great stuff. Okay, we're going to take a short break. When we come back, more.
Final round continues. Once again, CKCO's Brent Hansen.
Welcome back to the final round. Let me introduce you once again to this evening's contestants. In this corner, we have Robert Szep, an author and a meteorite expert. Cher DeCiccio, an administrator with the Waterloo Community Arts Center. In this corner, Doug Bergman of Bergman Enterprises, and Mary Ellen Renwick, the manager of Victoria Place Retirement Home. Okay, let's have a look at our next topic.
Is there really something wrong with our healthcare system in this province, or do we expect too much from it? Outside of education, healthcare seems to get most attention in the media. In Toronto, they're closing down emergency rooms because they're too busy. People with heart and kidney problems go south of the border for care. The provincial government is being told more money will solve the problem, but in the past it's been noted more money leads to abuse throughout the system, right down to the patient who shows up at the emergency room for a...
It seems that every time we try to make a change in the healthcare system, we get lobbyists and public interest groups saying, no, you can't do that because people are suffering here, and the provincial government should throw some more money at the problem, and it will all go away. What do you think, Robert?
Well, as far as the hospital waiting and emergency room stuff, like, for sure, if you don't have a family doctor, people are left with no other choice but to go to emergency. Personally, I don't want to go anywhere near that place, unless it is a dire emergency. But I know that the fact that the shortage of family doctors has forced a lot of people to go to emergency and wait for hours on end to see a doctor about a runny nose. But that's just what the system is broken down to. Anyway, that was a short one.
Money may be the health system problem. Time is ours. We have to move on to the next topic. Let's have a look.
The Lord did say, "Let there be light." But this much? This many? We've gone nutty with Christmas lights. It used to be the odd house strung a string of pretty lights. Now it seems it's a status symbol. You have to have more lights up.
You know, probably when they invented the Christmas light, it seemed like a good idea at the time. But over the years, has it gotten out of control, Robert? What do you think?
Well, it has turned into a degree of one-upmanship on your neighbors who can have the biggest, best display. But I have no qualms about anybody wanting to really light their place up for the couple weeks prior to Christmas.
What about the fact that the true spirit of Christmas has gone into the hands of the people that sell these lights? They're the people that are receiving. I was speaking to someone today about Christmas, and they said, my husband's buying all these gifts for our child, and I'm trying to teach him about the truth.
Okay, we're going to take a short break, and when we come back, we're going to give a little money away. We'll see you in a minute. Welcome to the final round. This is part of the show where we pick out the person who had the best comment throughout the whole show. Let's have a look at it now.
And as long as there is money to be taken from us, Quebec will be on the scene. The minute the boat sinks, they'll be swimming towards shore like rodents from a sinking ship.
I believe the more common term is rats, but we've got the idea.
Rats, yeah.
Okay, where do you want the money to go?
Guelph Salvation Army Christmas Kettle Campaign would be great.
Okay, I'm quite sure they'll be happy to get it. Okay, Robert, what are you up to these days?
I'm shipping out more of the third millennium meteorite counters and putting the finishing touches on the definitive book on meteorites due for release early spring next year. Looking forward to Mike Bullard's show on the 17th. I'm going to be talking meteorites with Mike. And as always, constantly improving superimpactor.com.
All right.
That's superimpactor, OR, not ER.com.
Thanks.